Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we are here to watch some more Mobile Suit The Witch from Mercury. Not from Mars, like I made the mistake earlier.
Like nobody heard.
S- That nobody heard, but you know what? I may as well confess to the mistake and have a fun little intro.
All right, Griff. So you just read a short story, didn't you?
That's right. What is actually the title of it? There we go. Yeah, The Cradle World short story for The Witch from Mercury.
Right. It is part of. It's part of two separate things, which gives us more information on the world. One of them we haven't seen yet, because apparently it's the opening, which gets introduced in episode 2, which is where we are now. So we'll see that when it shows up. But there was a short story that was published on the Witch from Mercury website, which both Griff and I have
Mhm.
read. But since you have read it more immediately than I have, Griff, why don't you give me any thoughts that you have on what you just went through?
My impression of the story is it's very much about just trying to set up the nature of what's going on Mercury and what our. I know. I immediately made a mistake again. They both start with them, but it's about setting the scene of Mercury, what our protagonist was doing there, and I think really importantly, the autonomous independence that is Ariel, right? The way that the Gundam itself actually sees things, is interpreting things, and understands its relationship with Suletta.
Yeah, that was one of the points that I had written down. Is Ariel alive? Because she has conscious thoughts, apparently.
Right. They are simplified and short and usually very to the point, but this is clearly intelligence that is working purely autonomously.
I wouldn't say autonomously though, because Ariel doesn't do anything without Soletta.
That is true, but it is thinking its own thoughts, which is the important part to me at the very least. Ariel cares about Suletta, is interested in seeing her get the kind of goals that she wants, is concerned about them in really kind of the same way Suletta's mother is probably concerned about her.
Right.
And I believe little sister was the term actually used elsewhere.
Yeah, the prologue.
In the prologue, yeah. Uh, but yeah, this definitely seems like a more motherly thing, probably because Suletta is still technically very young in this short story right now. So
Uh,
Ariel's technically the more mature intelligence between the two.
well, in the short story, it pans out from, I think, age 6 to her current age.
hmm
Also, real quick, I want to thank Miyasori for posting that that short story in our comment section because we wouldn't have known it existed otherwise.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, the second part of this, like the shorter part of it, is a little short vignette of Suletta going out to go ahead and save someone who really didn't want her to be on Mercury. Probably for understandable reasons. Ariel, of course, is already forming opinions about the elder, quote, being a child, or acting like one. But Suletta is, of course, just like, no, I'm gonna save people. That's all I want. And it does give context to why she immediately rolled out to try to save the person who was floating in space.
Right. Yeah, because it's what she was doing before. It
Yep.
also speaks to her character.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think these are all good, short, informative. Uh, Obviously, it's always nice if there's more content, but this is just a short story. I think it's good for what it is.
All right, cool. I think that only leaves me with like probably two main points that I pulled from the story that
What
I
you got?
wanted to bring up. Well, I wanted to bring up here while we're talking that Sulet's motto comes from that story
hmm
about her not wanting to get shots as a child.
hmm
Because, you know, if
Yeah,
you
they
run, you get one. You move forwards, you get two. Or more.
continue to get shots all over the place. Uh, the
Well, no, the
exact
rewards.
Oh, the rewards of it, yeah. Alright, so that kinda does bring the metaphor together a little bit. If you are just willing to endure a little bit of it, there's rewards at the end. It's like, okay, that makes sense. It it makes more sense now that there's context to it, rather than being a very silly phrase just kind of said without that context. I imagine the show will actually probably go ahead and refrain this at some point.
It might, but I think that also will lead me into my main point from all of this,
Mhm.
and I think it might actually reframe the whole thing, given who said it to her, her mother.
Yeah.
I think I have figured out who the villain of the story is going to be, and it may
Ooh.
surprise you.
Do tell.
If you had to make a guess based on what I just said, who do you think?
Her doctor.
I think
The elder she saves.
I think her mother is going to be the villain of the story.
Really?
Okay, follow me here. One, the story points out that Ariel is Soletta's sword, and her mother in the story is still harboring vengeance for her husband's death and the
Mhm.
asteroid attack, and is actively planning vengeance.
Right.
Who? There's a one major factor in the story that it points out. Who do you think the witch from Mercury is?
Uh, I would probably say the protagonist, Suletta. That would make sense given the present context within the show. She's the character from Mercury, and people have referred to her as a witch so far.
Incorrect, actually. The witch from Mercury is Scylla's bomb, a nickname given to her by the president of the Benneret Group,
Hmm.
which you might recognize as the one that got rid of the Gundams.
Right. So there's a clear. This is a good point. That would be a very clear line of conflict, and one for our character to interact with, and even interact with it personally. So, if that's what they do, let's go ahead and we could go ahead and see that.
Stop trying to
I
transition, Griff.
sorry. Uh, what I mean to say is, I will be willing to see it when it pops up in the show. I have nothing against it. I think it's a good point.
Well, because it happens well before Suletta is ever called the Witch from Mercury. The president of the organization that's responsible for, by the way, for getting rid of the Gundams, which causes the death of her father, or I'm sorry, her husband,
Mhm.
and the destruction of the asteroid base. She's actively being called the Witch from Mercury.
Right.
So that's just my extrapolation from the story. Before we get into the episode, back to the episode, I have one other factor which has been pointed out to me,
Hmm.
and I wish I had an image to show for this. Uh, Soletta, when she goes flailing about, like when she thinks that she's being pressed upon, in danger or anything like that, she does this like move.
Right. The cross guard.
Yeah, that's the same move that when she's in Ariel she does to protect the cockpit, where she's actively in. And that's also the move just before she goes offensive. So that's literally her going into offensive mode.
Hmm. Okay.
She's making the same moves that she does when she's in the Gundam. That's not
Okay.
her flailing about. That's her getting ready to fight.
Which is funny considering the way that she has been given this personality of shy, dorky, and not in control, of course.
Well, I mean,
So the two are fun to conflict with each other. It's good.
I think the story indicated very much that she is of one type of personality, but at the same time is certainly a person of action.
Yes.
I will rescue you in 4 minutes, and then destroys a mountainside to make sure that the 4 minutes is done.
Hmm.
Man, you have any other thoughts about the short story?
No, I don't think so. It is, of course, very short. I think we basically just covered literally everything in the text.
All right,
Aside from the fact that the base is called Colombo.
right. Hey, it's just one more thing.
It's just one more thing. All right. So going back to the episode, last time our character got introduced to school. beat up the school bully, and became the head duelist all at once.
Well,
That's the very short paraphrase of it all, isn't it?
we were introduced to the concept that she has never been to school before, which we
Mhm.
further learned in the short story. But we were also introduced to a number of people that were in charge of the corporate. I think the Benner Group is the name of all of the corporations put together.
Right. And they're, of course, doing their politicsing and assassinations, and they specifically wanted to make sure that a marriage went through so that when the assassination happened, one of the group members would benefit immediately from it.
Well, apparently, whoever's the duelist supreme or whatever they called the title
Mhm.
gets the hand of the Benner Group's leader's daughter for some reason. So it's very out of context. Like, it's an agreement that was made ahead of time.
Right. I think they did give a very brief context to it where this is a game that they set up ahead of time specifically because they wanted this outcome, and the entire thing has been entirely arranged on their personal whims.
Well, because they were about to dissolve the whole duelist system
Yeah.
uh, right when they were also planning to kill the president of the Bennett Corporation. So,
Yep. So they cash out on their plan, they're completely done, it's like, oop, there's a wrench in it in the last moment. Now they have to change course.
and we also saw a FaceTime with all the other minor corporations,
Mhm.
and I think we saw our Char clone in that one.
Uh, oh, right. I don't think we've actually gotten a whole bunch of time with them yet. Is that right?
No, it was just like one meeting with 5 minutes length. It lasts probably.
Yeah.
But for that person specifically, no, they haven't even spoken. It's just,
Okay.
you know, this is like
You got the
Gundam.
vibes.
No, this is a Gundam show, and they're the only person that wore a helmet. For no reason, you just have this blonde person wearing a helmet that covers their eyes to the nose, which is every Char clone in history.
Gotta keep up that Gundam symbolism. Alright, so I think this episode, they're probably gonna deal with a little bit of fallout from this in some way, but I'm really not sure how yet. Because we've only seen one episode of the show so far. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Ghoul's gonna have to do about his mech. It's clearly not a Gundam, so I guess we call it Mobile Suit.
Right, it has been completely annihilated.
Right, but he's a rich kid with a very powerful father, so
He's got like 3 backups, probably.
he might be that Zoids character who just shows up with more and more expensive stuff.
Going with the Deep Zoids reference, yeah.
Well, there's just like the one guy who has like two robots as his backup, and I just spend more and more money as the need arises.
Oh, damn, there we go. That's a show we gotta react to sometime. So before we go too deep into Zoids, now's the natural segue that I am lampshading. Let's go ahead and watch.
So Gundam. Gundam.
It's a Gundam.
Well, that's what the person at the book said last episode.
Yeah.
That we're clearly going to see again in this recap.
Here we go. Totally OP lasers, probably against the rules.
Gundam. Gundam.
ロージはいハロ
承りました。
パーメット個体コードはどれとも一致しないんですが似ている機体が一つ
オックスアースか
ありえないですよだってあれは
あれが魔女のモビルスーツなら放ってはおけないな
I mean, it's illegal.
Yup.
うちのクソ親父が勝手に決めたの。私をホルダーと結婚させるって。でも心配しないで。私もする気ないから。私は地球へ行きたいの。
It's pretty impossible. You've been shipped 100 times now. Alright, here's the OP. We gotta watch it. Apparently, it's
Here we go. This
a
will be
lot of
fun.
backstory.
Gotta love that in the future, the round robot is the emote of choice.
I mean, I use it in Gundam Evolution.
Oh yeah. This is nice. It's got a nice beat to it. Just kind of paying attention to like what does this intro tell us the show's gonna be like?
I mean, that was Gil, so I guess he's gonna be in it for a while.
Still gotta keep fighting them.
He doesn't look unhappy. There she
Just
was.
doing his thing.
There's the girl I was talking about. That was 4-year-old her.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, no, the intro's really good. I definitely dig the music. Attention, duelist. Already under arrest, huh?
It is a Gundam. They're not wrong.
This is, of course, the immediate consequences of everybody's actions here.
Gundam タイプは全部破棄されたんじゃなかったのか？古い機体には見えないな。パイロットの命を奪うってんだろ？けど、あの子は生きてるぞ。スレッタ・マーキュリー17歳。学籍番号 LP041。パイロットか。
For some reason I thought she was 16.
母親は現在ラグランジュ1に赴任中。間違いありませんか？
さっきも答えました。
間違いありませんか？
はい。
あなたは自分の乗っていた機体がガンダムだと認識していますか？
あの子の名前はエアリアルです。
ガンドフォーマットを搭載した機体の運用は協約で凍結禁止されていることは？
そんなの知りません。
What if it's gonna wind up like the whole Marvel superheroes wearing inhibitors thing? That she can keep the Gundam, but she can't use the gun system.
See what they decide to do with it.
魔女には見えないわね。
バナディスとのつながりは？
当該モビルスーツの登録は水星新星開発公社になっています。それ以外は目下調査中。
魔女じゃなければあれは何だ？水星の採掘やごときにガンダムが作れるものか？
Yeah, the guy who's invested in the duel is like, nah, negate everything.
決闘は無効だ。直ちにあの機体を没収し、パイロットを水星に送り返す。
And that guy reminds me of the chief from Ghost in the Shell.
He's got a little bit of that look, doesn't he?
新星の代表者を呼べ。審問会を開く。
Oh, maybe we'll see the old man, and maybe he won't turn out to be an asshole.
おかしいと思ったんだよ。
編入生は？
まだ取り調べしてんのかな。
なんかかわいそうかも、水星ちゃん。そりゃあ横から警
Well, looks like they call them mobile craft in this series. It was written on top of the paper.
フロント管理会社から届いたぞ。あの編入生に取られたんだろう。
Don't give away your phone. It's against the rules.
彼女困ってて。
生徒手帳の貸し借りは校則違反だ。
あの子、いつ戻ってくるんですか？
Ah, so it's earthy and not earthanoid.
余計な詮索してんじゃない。勉強だけしてりゃいい
I think we commented on that last time.
Probably did, but now I remember again.
決闘委員会の方はよろしく頼む。
学生なのにご苦労なことだね。
好きでやってるだけさ。
本社は魔女裁判。
そんなところかな。
彼女本当に魔女なんだろうか。
珍しいな。エランが人に興味を持つ。
Damn, man, you're really beating yourself up.
Wouldn't be a school anime without the student council.
僕は人を好きにな
Sure.
ったりしないよ。絶対に。
Gundam, but slice of life school anime. We're throwing the school festival next episode, everybody.
あんたたちのエース様が壊したんだけど、
兄さんから直すように言われたから。
反省したってわけで、その本人は
欠席してる。
ああ、
The animation when drawn at a distance, she turned around and she had just two dot eyes and a line for a mouth.
マシでしょ。娘もそっ
I like how they just came by to badmouth her. Just the mean girl group.
Oh no, they were told to help.
戻ってきたら言っとく。余計なことしないでって。知らないみたいだから教えてあげる。水星ちゃん、退学になるって。モビルスーツもスクラップだって。私のパパが言ってた。
Well, looks like the revolution starts now.
そっちが言ってきたんでしょ。
Yup, we're... I guess the school anime isn't gonna last very long, huh?
それとトマト触ったら殺すから。
あった。
Heard many girls tell me
開
that.
発公社。創業33
Wait, I
年。
take that back. That makes me sound like a pervert.
売上高151位？
ほぼ B じゃん。
よくこの学校入れたな。
でもモビルスーツは作れた。
認可されないんじゃしょ
Oh,
うがないよ。
interesting. Corporate sponsorship
違ったんだろうけど。
この
to get into school.
推薦してくれた会社のランクで決まるもんね。
地球生まれは肩身が狭いよ。
アーシュラを底辺に押し込んでんのはスペーシアンの方じゃん。チューチュー、声大きいよ。アーシュは
Oh gosh, we even have the table disputes.
Her name is Choo Choo,
どいてくれる？
like a train.
そこ、いつも私たちが使ってんだけど。そんなのいつ？ちょうど今食べ終わったところだから。お先に。食べ終わったんでしょ？一緒に捨てといてよ。おい、ふざけんなスペーシアン。行こうチュチュ。マルタンも。
Oh, come on, you don't let that fly.
ちょっと
At least your milk will, by the way.
You gotta start the food fight.
ニカね、なんで？ですから、あれは禁止された機体の可能性があるんです。
Seems to me that maybe she's hiding something and she can't bother getting in trouble for anything.
じゃあ誰が判断するの？デリング総裁です。どうかお引き取りください。
Can't believe the school's dealing with a flu breakout.
Please leave where? There's a phone conversation.
ミオリネ様。
学校に戻ればいいんでしょ？
いえ、お父様からご伝言です。
見たくない。
では読みます。ミオリネ、学校は退学させる。
は？
花婿もこちらで用意する。すぐに戻ってこい。
は？
以上です。
貸して。なんなのこれ。決闘で結婚相手を選ぶってあんたが決めたくせに。
At least this guy knows what's going on. It's like, I'm just bringing you the message.
結婚しないから。
私に言われましても。
あいつはいつもそう。相談しない。説明しない。
It really feels like this roller coaster has started real early.
It is going all over the place, yeah.
お母さんのお葬式だって。
どちらへ？
トイレ。
ミオリネ様から目を離すなよ。
Though maybe when she's in the bathroom, a little bit.
ミオリネ・レンブランさんですね。コロニー指定座標 XY72Z53。
それって脱出の合流地点。
対面では初めまして。 先日お見えにならなかったので様子を見に参りました。
アフターケアの万全ってわけね。
料金はいただいてますから。もしご意
Her
思に変わりが
smuggler
ないの
is
で
just
したら
casually on the station talking to her in the bathroom.
No, it's probably a
今ならご
kidnapper.
希望通り
You
至
paid
急にお
us.
送りできます。
Oh, she's a very valuable asset. We could probably hold her hostage for ransom.
猶予は30
That's what I
分です。
anticipate is happening.
後悔のない決断を。
That very important countdown scene.
私をここから連れ出して。こんなにあっさり。
Alright, so there's a little bit of a network going on.
管制官が我々の協力者だったのも。
Thanks, they gotta be kidnapping her for ransom. She is too high profile.
5分後にフロント港管制区域から出ます。
そうなったら進路変更はできません。よろしいですか?
Which would then give Suletta a reason to chase after her and rescue her. Throwing that out there.
ミオリネ様がまた失踪したと。見張りは何をしていた？巻かれたようです。港を封鎖させますか？出入管理局に網を張らせろ。行き先はどうせ地球だ。それより審問会はどうなっている？先ほど新生代表の入港を確認しました。そうか。ジェターク家の人間がジェターク社のモビルスーツを使って負けただと？お前は会社の信用を潰す気か？
申し訳ありません、父さん。
今回の決闘は俺の方で無効にしてやる。これ以上恥をかかせるな。
はい。
CEO ご来客です。
誰だ？
それが新生開発公社の代表でして。
Yeah, why would they show up here and not to the other one?
Hey, there we go.
3年前の社長就任以来だったか。レディ・プロスペラ。はい。総裁に取り出してくれという話なら受け入れんぞ。
いいえ、その逆です。
何？
そちらが私に頼むのです。
Love the space vertigo.
I just like rushed to that room.
君と同じアスティカシアの学生だ。係の人に代わってもらった。
いいんですか？
どうぞ。
いただきます。
Space bread branded. Ever since the duel, I want to see you kill again.
God damn it, Griff, you're a psychopath. I was just thinking to myself, this is how Iron Blood Orphans got it wrong. Is that you make a sympathetic character who's had a hard life, who's still trying to be a good person, and you see them in despair over their problems, and you hit me with a killer line.
Oh, now this is interesting. They've decided to claim that the machine is theirs.
I wonder if she's the wife of the elder that got rescued.
That'd be funny.
Look, at she was nice, and the elder was the asshole.
もしあれにガンドフォーマットが搭載されているとすれば、データストームが検出されるはず。いかがです？
検出はされていません。
従来のパーメットリンクを元にした操作技術です。グループの技術条項にも沿ったものと自負しています。
それだけでガンダムでないとは言えないわ。
ですが断言もできません。
レディー・プロスペラ、あなたはただエビデンスの欠落部分を言い訳にしている。
I figured in this universe the gun system would be the proof that it's a Gundam, so lacking it would prove it's not.
グループの一員です。カテドラルの協約ももちろん存じております。ご信用いただきたい。
その風体で信じろとでも
Yeah, it's her mother.
Absolutely.
この腕も仮面の下の顔も全て水星の磁場に持っていかれました。水星の環境は過酷です。ですが我々のドローン技術を応用できれば危険に身をさらすことなくパーメットの再起実現が可能になります。
She's explaining drone technology. Now would be the perfect time for it to.
我々にはグループの支援が必要なのです。
いや、あれはガンダムだ。
なぜでしょう。
私がそう判断したからだ。異論がある者はいるか。
Gotta love a system of justice here where it's just like, well, because I said so.
あのモビルスーツは廃棄処分。操縦者の生徒は抹消とする。
Told you the mother is going to be the villain by the end of it. This treatment of her is not proving me wrong.
何の用だ、ミオリネ。
あんたに一言言いたくてやってきたの。自分で決めたルールを後から勝手に変えるな、このダブスタクソ親父。
地球に運ぶんじゃなかった
My
のか。
question would be more, who let her just walk in here?
She's important enough, I suppose.
計算づくか。
宇宙には新しいルールが必要よ。
ここに立てるのはベネリットグループの、それも上位企業の力ある者のみ。だがお前は違う。何の力もないただの学生だ。
あんたっていつも
He's
そ
the
う。
decider.
上から目線で説明もなしに勝手に決める。
説明も相談も必要ない。私が決める。お前は従う。娘だからといって私と対等に物が言えると思ったか。
何それ、あんた王様。
そうだ、私には力がある。
I don't think that's how capitalism works.
力のない者は黙って従うのがこの世界のルールだ。
進めば2つ。だったら決闘よ。私たちが勝ったら
Literally, just say no
私の
and
婚約
lose
者として
nothing.
認める。負けたら好きにすればいい。
私の話が理解できなかったのか。
あんたが決めたルール。
Definitely calling them out on the hypocrisy of the we're just gonna change the rules whenever we want stuff. So that's good.
大人なんでしょ。
Again, you can literally just say no.
よろしいでしょうか。偶然とはいえ。
And of course the defector is speaking up too, so that's just convenient.
今しばらくの運用を検討してはいかがでしょうか。どういうことだ。近年の市場では他社のモビルスーツのシェアが高まってきています。あの機体は業績回復の起爆剤になり得るかと。
学園での決闘はエアリアルの実証試験として有益と考えます。
機体の技術情報は
Also,
提
could you give
供
me
して
my
くだ
arm
さるの
back?
かしら。
もちろんです。
She just needs to be given a hand.
私は反対
There we go, back to the cute scenes.
最後へのアナウンスはどうする。倫理の問題だ。しかし。
スレッタ、ミオリネさん。
Sulata very much the pawn in everything right now. But that was good. That was some good drama.
I don't know. We did an ending last time. I don't think so.
Ah, good point. This one just kind of like gets up and goes. It's nice.
I don't think I'm going to get as much from this one as I got from the opening.
Fair, fair. I mean, it's still nice. I'm definitely enjoying it. The artistry is also interesting. They're just all like in crystals here. Which I guess, given context, they're all kind of
multifaceted.
Yeah, that. I was also thinking like locked away and not allowed to be anything until they break out.
Yeah, but you don't tend to break out of a gem.
It's all artistic.
No,
oh,
literally,
but she isn't.
Literally, they just did a thing where they looked at different sides of the gem and gave different versions of themselves. It's clearly meant to represent multifaceted nature. It's meant to
and then it's just them being
show crayons.
Combat Space Network.
意思決定拡張 AI 接続完了。戦闘空間ネットワークの展開確認。いつでもどうぞ。
Red Comet, a bunch of Zakus. Red Comet was Char's personal Gundam. In case you didn't follow that one.
I gotcha. Guile just got a enhancement, that's for sure.
Like I said, he's sticking around apparently.
It is always hilarious going from like this really nice, like sort of hard sci-fi depiction of space, and then we get the spin and laser swords at the hips.
Well, I mean, that doesn't mean that can't. There's nothing that says that's not hard sci-fi.
Right. That's not what I'm saying either. I'm saying the juxtaposition of going from A to B is definitely fun.
I mean, there's nothing from one level to the other that's not matching it with like tech levels and everything.
Right. We already got the super laser drone, so it's not like it's out of left field. It's just funny. But yeah, this was a high drama episode of setting up why this is going to go through in the first place, which I think was a question we kind of had on our mind. It's obviously a Gundam, it's not allowed, they immediately arrest her 5 seconds in, and everything else is about how they're going to get out of it.
Yeah, I guess in this universe, Gundams aren't made of Gundanium. Yeah. It's the Gund system that they run on, which proves that they're a Gundam. Unless you're the president of the corporation, in which case anything you say is a Gundam is a Gundam.
Exactly, he's the king. Whatever he says goes.
Get that man out of here. He's clearly a Gundam.
Technically, it could be true with the prosthetics that they showed. That's exactly what they're supposed to be for as well. Let's see. So our secondary protagonist is definitely very right to call out their father on basically literally all the hypocrisy happening. So that was very good to see. And now they have to actually deal with it.
Yeah, apparently it's a fight with Ghoul again.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if this will kind of like establish the same kind of pattern like we saw in IBO, where it goes from like high action to like wind down in drama and then back to action as context.
I don't know. I would say this episode had a lot of action in it.
What kind? Well, not the usual kind of action is all I'll say. Definitely more low-key action.
I literally described it as a roller coaster as it was happening.
I interpret that as the roller coaster of emotions, but
roller coaster of action, roller coaster of stuff happening. Like, it wasn't...
I mean, I'm looking for a fight.
We didn't get, like, a 5-minute scene about what's happening here and why we're here, and another 5-minute scene of discussing our feelings with one another. No, shit happened. We went on a journey.
Oh, yeah. Stuff is happening. But I mean, like, the build up to the big Gundam fights, right?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. We've only watched 2 episodes.
I know, we only got 2. Let's see if the pattern
I
happens.
feel like we got, like, 15 in before we decided that's what IBO was about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Well, we can get through 15 episodes of this, right?
I don't know. It might be impossible.
It might be possible. There might only be 12.
Yeah. I might be physically incapable of watching 15 episodes unless we started from the beginning again and did an extra 3.
But I'm definitely digging this. I'm loving all the characters. I'm liking that all their actions make sense and follow through with what's been happening. And the people who are all against the power structure, despite the fact that they aren't coordinating at all, immediately recognize each other's personal interest in making this happen. It is fun to see. What about you? Anything you'd like to end off on?
I always hate the what about you section. Because I've been talking the entire time, so it's not like I don't leave anything back. It's always, yes, but da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, I know, but I like to always give you one last chance to finish off, so I'm not just, like, cutting you off or anything.
One last chance, even though I control the stop record button. I think you'll find that if you just end the episode, I'll continue talking if I had something.
But what you got? You have anything you'd like to say?
No, that's what my whole point was, is that I say it already.
There we go. So we've gone ahead and said everything, and I think that's where we'll go ahead and end it for today then. This has been Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you all next time. See ya, everybody. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?